Right across the box, it's a big chance.
Great play by the Navy there, fantastic football.
And it's a goal! The Army have an all-important second goal.
Full time in this match, thrilling stuff, especially in the second half.
One game plan, and it's paid off.
Hello, good evening and welcome to a very windy Westleigh Park, the home of Havant and Waterlooville football and the venue for the final match of this year's Inter-Services Women's competition. Now the title has already been won by the Royal Air Force, but tonight sees the Royal Navy take on the British Army, both for pride and there is still a cup at play. So let's take a look at what's happened in the tournament so far.
Abby Hayes. Goalkeeper doesn't make it, and this time it has gone in. Nice free kick going in, and it's gone into the net.
Another fullback.
And that is another fullback who scored this time. Shot goes in and it's into the back of the net. It was a brilliant turn from Georgia Carr.
The RAF women then champions for a 6th year in a row. So how do the two teams tonight prepare for a match like this? Earlier I spoke to both head coaches. It's a bit of a, I hate to say the word dead rubber, but it's one of those games, isn't it? It's already been won by the RAF women, but there's still so much pride and everything to play for tonight.
Yeah, I would disagree with you though. It's never dead rubber, and the reason being is yes, the RAF have won obviously Inter-Services, but there's a cup on the line tonight. In the Knights Cup, it's an Army Cup, and we're looking to retain it.
And how do you reflect on the game so far against the RAF? It was a smaller margin of victory for them against the Royal Navy, but that doesn't matter, that's just on paper. You'll be coming out here all guns firing, I'm sure. Yeah,
we've reflected on last week. The players have took ownership of it, a little bit disappointed, but what I can guarantee is my players will react, and you'll see that tonight.
And the conditions we've had for Inter-Services so far have been quite kind. This is something else. We are on the south coast. It's got everything, a bit of wet, a bit of wind, but I'm sure footballers on this lovely facility will play their hearts out, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? We'll thrive in it because we're soldiers and there's nothing better than playing in the rain. And I guarantee the girls will be up for it tonight.
Absolutely. I'm glad to see it and we'll see you shortly. May the best team win.
Thank you very much.
I said to Craig, this is a bit of a dead rubber, but I know that all hearts and sort of all pride is on the line tonight, so it doesn't matter that the RAF have already won. Your girls are here to play their hearts out, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. I think every game at Inter-Services, regardless of the situation that we're in now, there's still a cup to play for, and there's still the pride of the Navy to play for, and that's what's important for us, and the girls recognise that, and hopefully we'll go out and get the win tonight.
Do you take anything from the fact that you guys did score against the Royal Air Force, whereas the Army lost 3-0? Does that matter? Does it match up on paper, or is it just every game for itself?
No, I think every game is completely different. The way we set up against the Air Force was to try and restrict them as much as possible. I think we've done that, and we were really successful in getting that goal. The Army's going to be a different game altogether. Hopefully we get a win tonight. I've got every confidence in the girls' ability, so yeah, I'm looking forward to the contest.
Your first inter-services fully in charge. I know you've been part of the coaching setup for a while, but a sort of baptism by fire. Have you enjoyed the experience?
Yeah, I think the inter-services is a great experience, and being around this group of girls is something special. It's something that I think this season we've really clicked, and hopefully we take this into seasons moving forward and have some success. I think that they all deserve, to be honest.
And these conditions, are they sort of conditions that Royal Navy thrive in?
I don't think anyone thrives in these conditions, especially my hairline, but it makes it for an interesting contest, and I think everybody has to play against the weather, but it's something that we relish.
Great. Well, thanks very much, Ben, and have a good game tonight. Still plenty to play for then, and two teams that will, I'm sure, play with all their hearts out there tonight. So let's join our commentary team, John Knighton and Rachel Howes.
Weather on for you, really, because I think the conditions are pretty similar to what we have experienced here over the last few hours. Hardly springtime weather conditions here at Havant and Waterlooville tonight. A very good evening to you, to Westleigh Park. And say if you're watching in the Falkland Islands in the South Atlantic, well, the sort of conditions maybe you're experiencing today are similar to what we're experiencing here. A very good evening to you, and we're looking forward to watching this final game in the Inter-Services Women's Football competition tonight. The Royal Air Force, of course, are already Inter-Services champions, and it's a great pleasure to have alongside me this evening someone who no doubt will be mentioning this several times tonight, Rachel Howes. Rachel, good evening to you. And first of all, I mean, we really should pay a huge tribute to the RAF women's team, a 6th successive title, equaling the Force's record.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's good to be here tonight, albeit a bit cold and windy, but I look forward to seeing this final game of the 2026 Women's Inter-Services. But it's also very nice to be standing here as an Inter-Service champion again.
Absolutely. I mean, the team are so strong at the moment, but I think what we can say is from the two games that we've seen, obviously you playing against the Royal Navy 3 weeks ago up at Lincoln, and also the way the Army played against you just last Thursday in very different weather conditions. There's plenty of encouragement for a tight competitive championship.
Yeah, definitely, and I think the last few years have shown that anyway. Like most of the games have been really tight in the women's competition, and I think long may that continue, as long as obviously the RAF are on top.
I expect you to say that. Let's take a look at the two teams, shall we? The starting lineups for tonight, and we'll start with the visitors, obviously the British Army, and still very much a young side that is being developed, isn't it? There's I think at least 2 or 3 newcomers started on the pitch on Thursday, and certainly several substitutes, and so therefore it's really important for them to not feel too disheartened after a 3-0 defeat in that opening game.
No, definitely not. Obviously some of the players on there, we're obviously very aware of Anna Birtwistle, Courtney Jones, Imogen Fisher, Izzy Crooks, but then we've also got a lot of new names, like you say, John, and it's nice to see a lot of new girls come into service football, whether that's the Army, Navy or Air Force.
And of course I must mention Courtney Jones as well tonight,
yeah,
who I think this is probably going to be her last ever game.
Yes, I've heard this.
Level as the Army captain, and what a servant she's been to Army and indeed to Forces football. Yeah,
absolutely. I think she might get a UCAF fixture in or two before she leaves. But yeah, this will be a final inter-service game, and yeah, she's been an incredible player for the Army.
So she will definitely want to go out with a victory tonight.
She definitely will.
A big learning experience for the Army women on Thursday. Similarly for the Royal Navy, just 3 weeks ago. It seems a long time ago up at the LNER Stadium, but to open the championship. But again, you totally dominated in that first half against the Royal Navy, but they came back at you in the second half, and there were certainly some substitutions that Ben made have made a huge difference to the Navy team.
Yeah, they had some good players that came on. I don't know if we took our foot off the gas maybe a bit in the second half, but they definitely had some good players. Unfortunately, one of which who is not here tonight.
Yeah, Lily Chubb, I was going to mention, Lily came on as a second half substitute and made a massive difference to the Navy team. She was all over the pitch, and she was a sort of player who could have been a match winner. But it's sad that she's not here tonight. I know that she's been deployed, obviously, that's life at the moment.
Such is the way in the military.
Life. And so she's away, and maybe, Lily, you're watching in Cyprus tonight, hopefully. It would be nice to know that you were watching along and maybe cheering along the Navy team. But let's also look at Nat Bavister as well. Nat, more than 100 caps for the Royal Navy. She's been playing since about 2003. So her experience is absolutely vital. And in fact, she created the Navy's first goal against you in quite a few years, didn't she? 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, she did. She showed her experience in that. It was a fantastic run down the left wing and a superb ball into the box. So and you don't expect any less from Babs at all. She's been an incredible servant of service football. And women's football, definitely.
Well, keep an eye out as well for Robin McFadden tonight, wearing number 11 for the Royal Navy. She scored that crucial goal to bring the Navy right back into the game, and I thought they looked very solid at the back as well. I was impressed with Eilish Brogan in goal, apart from maybe there was one error that she made to concede a goal, but she looked very strong, especially in the first half.
Yeah, you could say it was keeper error for that goal, but equally I think Abby Hayes put enough on it to get it in the back of the net, if I'm talking from an RAF perspective.
Well, as you see, the players now out onto the pitch for the pre-match preliminaries here, and they'll be greeted very shortly by the VIPs tonight. Rear Admiral Andrew Rose, the President of Royal Navy Football Association, with also Major General John Swift, Vice President of Army Football Association. They'll be coming out to meet the players and indeed the officials very shortly. We will have, of course, the national anthem. The players just being led out now. The VIPs being led out by Steve Johnson, who is the Chief Executive, of course, of the Royal Navy Football Association. Also joining them, Andy Knight from Lockheed Martin, major sponsors of Royal Navy Football, and Tom Baldwin as well, the match sponsors tonight, who are the sporting service as well. So they are the match sponsors this evening. So being introduced to the players, Nat Bavister just introducing the Royal Navy team. They now move on to the match officials, who of course all come from the Royal Air Force tonight. Joe Winship is the man in the middle tonight, with Finlay Thompson, Louis Blanchard, they are the assistants, and Ed Tarr is the fourth official. We've also told him to show up those signboards so that we can sit over here in our camera position, which obviously is on the far side of the field from the main stand here at Westleigh Park. It's a great little venue, actually, isn't it, Rach? To come and play football.
It is indeed, yeah. It's a decent little setup here. So yeah, it's nice to see service football maintain its relationship with this club.
It certainly is, and we're going to stand now for the national anthem, of course. Rachel, coming over to our position here. The wind literally is blowing right into our camera position here.
I think the wind blew the anthem to us.
It blew the anthem to us, yeah. But at the moment it's staying dry here at Havant and Waterlooville, which is very much a bonus at the moment. So the players now breaking through, having all shaken hands with the match officials, and we'll be underway very, very shortly in this game. Just a couple of minutes before 7 o'clock UK time, so referee, his assistant's just going over there to check the netting, check to make sure the goals are in working order. Certainly you can see them blowing in the wind. Are we expecting lots of goals tonight then, Rach?
I think there's potential for it. We will have to wait and see, but I'm expecting it to be a very good game, a very competitive game of football. The Navy obviously want to win this trophy back after the Army won it off them last year. So yeah, I think it'll be good. Both teams have obviously lost their other inter-service match, so they'll be looking to finish on a high.
Yeah, they certainly will. So the two captains then, who know each other very well, don't they? They've played against each other many, many times. The teams are going to switch positions because I think fairly sure that that would have Courtney would probably have won the toss there and decided that she wants to play with the wind. It's a very strong, and it's more of a crosswind actually.
Yeah, it looks like I can see a bit of rain in the air now, and it looks like the Army have gone with the wind in the first half. So we'll see if that pays off for them or not.
It will be the Royal Navy then to kick off in their white shirts and blue shorts. I mentioned the fact that it wasn't raining. Well, that was a bit of a commentator's curse. Straight away, the rain is now starting to launch itself across the pitch here.
It looks awful.
It's yeah. We are reasonably protected up here, Rach, so I'm pleased about that. But we are just about ready to go. The players will certainly be running around, I'm sure, to keep themselves warm. Looking forward to seeing whatever the Army and the Navy can do tonight. Katie Elwood, I thought, had a really good game for the Army against the Air Force in the match on Thursday.
I'm trying to just figure out what formation each team's started with here. I think the Navy are going with a back three. Bavs has pushed on a bit higher.
Ballister getting straight into the action and trying to put through Hindman. Goalkeeper comes out and makes the save, but that was Abby Hindman there having an attempt as the Army now bring it clear. Here's Lauren Druitt inside to Amber Marsh and across to Tosh Toms. That ball harmlessly out of play though. Be a Navy throwing then on this near side of the field. Just opening moments of this game. And the players not only have they got to get used to the 4G pitch as well, they've also got to get used to these conditions as well, Rach, which is going to make good football very difficult. I can imagine we're going to lose quite a few footballs out of the stadium tonight.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It's a shame. You don't mind a bit of rain when it's football, but the winds can really ruin a game of football. But it's the same for both teams. They've both got a battle the wind, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
They certainly have. Navy throw then. Ellie Haynes. Nice touch there from Elwood, but mopped up by Ash Mills, and this is Imogen Fisher. Bavister will collect that. The ball goes out of play though. Army in their traditional all red strip. That's nice control from Hindman there. Army will have this throw in. Amber Marsh to take it.
Oh, there's another ball gone. That's 2 now. It didn't take long.
Yeah, they'll need to employ someone, I think, on this outside of the stadium to go and collect those missing footballs. Marsh then with a throw. Actually does really well to get quite a bit of length on that. You see Crooks going for it, but it is cleared by the Navy defence in the end. Bavister clears it out of play. Nat Bavister, I mean, we've mentioned her already, but what an extraordinary career she has had with Royal Navy football. She'll just carry on forever, won't she?
Yeah, I think she will, to be honest. She'll carry on until the Royal Navy win the inter-services.
Courtney Jones looking to receive the pass, which she does. Launches it forward. There's Crooks. Izzy Crooks does well, but challenged there by Abby Hindman, who's put herself about a lot already in these first few moments. Here's Tosh Toms. That's a tantalising through ball, eventually collected by Eilish Brogan in the Navy goal. That's her first touch of the ball. Important to get an early touch when you're a goalkeeper on a night like this.
Yeah, definitely. Just waiting to see, you know, we've got the first 10 minutes of madness, which seems to entail in any game of inter-services. So we'll see who manages to settle into the game quicker. At the minute, it seems to be the Army.
Yeah, the Army have started well, but they do have a slight wind advantage. Here goes Katie Elwood on the edge of the box, and that will be the first corner of the game conceded by the Navy's defence. It was Maiwan who conceded that. Yeah, the rain actually just coming in on us, so my glasses are steaming up already.
Get you some little windscreen wipers, John.
Yeah, could do with some screen wipers on here. So the corner comes in, but you can see how the wind has carried it right across to the other side of the pitch, and Lauren Druitt did really well to keep it in play. Out to Ash Mills. She'll take the shot.
Just wide there.
Well, it was worth a try, wasn't it? I mean, it's worth having a pot shot from probably the halfway line tonight.
Oh, absolutely, especially got the wind behind you. You never know what it's going to do with the ball.
Sophie Perrin. We actually believe that Sophie and Tasha Perrin, it's the first time that we've had two sisters playing in the same inter-services team, men's or women's, in British military football.
It's not bad, is it?
No,
not bad at all.
Of course, they made their debut. They played together, obviously, against you guys in the first match, and we were scouting around to try and find, and we're pretty sure that they are the first ever. So a bit of history being made in this inter-services fixture tonight. The first time in an Army-Navy game that we've had two sisters playing together in the Navy team. Play very much in the confined to the Navy half of the field at the moment. And that's yet another throw to the Army.
Yeah, I was going to say the Navy can't get out of their own half at the minute, so let's see if they can get back into the game a bit and get some possession.
That's nice control there. But again, it's well collected by Katie Elwood. Here's Nat Bavister. Through ball being chased by Elwood into the box. And that's the throw-in conceded by the Army, by Army captain Courtney Jones there. Throw then, taken by Ellie Naylor. She'll get it back again and tries to hook it into the penalty area. Now, Army on the break here. Here's Elwood. Nice ball across to Imogen Fisher. Good defensive work, good defensive cover for the Navy there. And that was Sophie Colburn, who you would expect to be charging around this pitch, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. The Army didn't seem to have as many people running forward as, too quick just then, so the Navy dealt with it quite easily.
Yeah, Sophie had, I thought, a terrific game against the Air Force in the Navy's opening match. Better known, of course, as a boxer.
Yeah, I've heard this actually.
Is our Sophie, but she's a tenacious tackler. I think that's a good way of describing her.
Yeah, as long as she doesn't bring the boxing onto the pitch, it'll be fine.
Goes in there, but it's won by Ellie Haynes. Good work from Haynes there. Spreads the ball into the middle of the field. Birtwistle, an experienced player in this Army team, to Ash Mills on that left-hand side, but it's snuffed out by the Navy. Now they have a chance to break. Bit of space in the midfield here. That's a through ball from
That'll be easily dealt with
Hindman,
here.
but it is dealt with by the Army defence. 0-0 in these opening few minutes of this final Inter-Services women's fixture for 2026. Don't forget, tomorrow night we will be live at Fratton Park, just down the road from here. Portsmouth FC hosting the Navy versus Army men's game, and they're expecting a decent crowd there tomorrow night. Of course, no Football League games this week because of the international break, and it's been well publicised by the club. But the Army now with a chance to come through on this.
Oh, she's offside.
Yeah, I think it was Anne Birtwistle just didn't quite time it.
It was a good ball in it, and then a good run across by Anna, but yeah, just slightly offside.
So we're approaching 10 minutes played in this first half. It remains 0-0 between the Royal Navy and the British Army. Bavister chasing hard, harrying. Through ball then from Robin McFadden. This is better from the Navy, but the Army do collect it and pick it up. Tyrrell Bell, one of the newcomers in this Army lineup this season, in goal. Had to pick the ball out of the net 3 times last Thursday. Made a couple of really good saves though to keep the score down. But Navy just coming into it a lot more now. Just need to be a bit more.
Yeah, they're winning the ball back, but then they're not managing. Just giving it away, not managing to keep hold of it. They just need to start playing it around a bit and get a bit more confidence on the ball, like the Army are doing.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, it's easy when it's up when you're up here.
It's easier said than done in these conditions as well. Here's Toms.
Oh, nice ball there. From
No,
Court.
it's just she's
just
not going to chase
slightly.
it.
And that's the only problem with having the wind behind you.
Yeah, you've just got to improve your. I mean, it was actually quite windy up at Lincoln, wasn't it, 3 weeks ago? I seem to remember, and it was a difficult conditions to play in. But of course, you were on a beautiful grass pitch there.
It's an amazing pitch at Lincoln, isn't it? It's like a carpet. Very lucky.
Well, Lincoln City definitely heading towards the championship at the moment. The way they're playing, I think
they're a few points clear now.
8 points clear at the top at the moment. Going really well. Mills. Cut out by the Navy. Now what can they do here? Here's McFadden, scorer of that goal, of course, their first goal against the Air Force in a number of years. But the Army haven't got a goal themselves yet in this championship. They'll be looking to put something on the board tonight. It's very, very tight at the moment out there. The Navy have come back into this. The Army will be wanting to make the most of this wind advantage that they've got.
Yeah, they're really going to want to test this keeper in the first half while they've got the wind behind them. They've obviously had one shot. Let's see if they can get some more.
0-0 here, if you're just joining us live here on our Forces News YouTube channel this evening, wherever you are around the world. It's great to have your company tonight, and I'm sure that in equal measure there are families and friends cheering for their respective teams tonight. It's going to roll harmlessly away, and again you see how far the wind has carried that. And on this pitch, of course, the ball just bounces so true, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't hold up at all, does it, on this surface?
Like a bowling green, really.
It could work well for the Navy, because they can just play a nice ball over the top and it would hold up quite nicely for them. But we haven't yet seen that happen.
Just waiting to see what the Navy can do. Not tested their goalkeeper yet. Here's Toms. Again, overhits it. Another Navy throw then on this near side of the field. Ellie Haynes. Well cut out by the Army, and the Navy winning it back. Bavister just caught there, and here's Haynes again. This time Anna Birtwistle. Quite a lot of resting on Anna tonight with her experience, and she knows how to find the back of the net, doesn't she, Rach?
Yeah, she does. She's a very good and experienced player. Obviously does well for the Army and for UCAF. I don't think she's been around that much this season for the Army, but we always knew she was going to come back in for the inter-services because she's a very important player.
Izzy Crooks trying to find a red shirt. It does come back to the Army. They're going to just be patient here. Toms gets a second chance. Fisher beats off one challenge, gets a low cross in, struggling to control it, and eventually it is cleared by Ellie Bishop there for the Navy. And here comes Robin McFadden. Lots of calls for the ball. Here's Naylor. Bavister chasing hard for it. She's always dangerous on this left flank. Can she beat off a challenge? She gets a cross in. It goes out in eventually for a throw, but you know how dangerous Nat Bavister can be when she gets that ball on that left-hand side.
Are you trying to remind me about Lincoln the other week, John?
Yeah. I think we've mentioned it a couple of times.
I think you did.
We played a quarter of an hour, and it is still 0-0 here in the driving wind at Havant and Waterlooville tonight. That's a good play then from Courtney Jones, just slowing the play down. Amber Marsh. Izzy Crooks. Back to her captain. Army just content to play that ball at the moment, just be patient with it. Get the possession. Jones. Good call then from Tash Toms. It's been a good route for the Army so far down this right hand side, and that's great play from Fisher. Approaches the box. Surely there's going to be a shot coming in, but it was taken away from her by Shannon Bradley. Sorry, by by Izzy Crooks there. It might have been a chance there for Shannon Bradley to.
She's done well again.
Yep. But the Army still going onto the edge of the box, and it's turned just wide by Katie Elwood there. Well, that was the best chance of the game so far.
Yeah, I'm surprised it went wide actually. It was a good bit of build-up play from the Army there, working it down the right at first and then coming back round to the left. Yeah, surprised to not see the net ripple there.
A bit of a let-off for the Navy really, because there was a lot of space, wasn't there, down that left-hand side?
Yeah, definitely. She dribbled all the way to the 6-yard box. I was quite surprised.
So a bit of a warning then for the Navy. The Army already showing what they can do down both flanks.
Yeah, the Army have started well. They're switching play. They're working. They're making the Navy move around the pitch a lot and playing some good football so far.
I think they know they've got to make this wind advantage pay in this first half.
Yeah, definitely.
I do remember seeing a game once where the wind actually swapped direction. And so the team that had the wind in the first half then also had the wind in the second.
Seems unfair.
Yeah. Not so tonight, I don't think. That was good defensive play by Sophie Perrin there. But the Army do have it back again. The dangerous Katie Elwood rather. Here's a chance for them then with Toms. Looking very dangerous, taking it wide down the right hand side. Beats off the defence. Chance comes in.
Looks like a handball, that.
Charge for handball. Referee waves it away.
Very
no
surprised.
VAR here of course tonight. So
the ref was only a few yards away, so I mean,
it would have been harsh, I think. Now, what can the Army do here? Not tempted to have a go for goal. Toms though lays it back inside to Crooks. Goes wide onto the left hand side.
the Army fullbacks have got so much space in
Mills.
this game. Great, but
and once again an opportunity there. Lauren drew it.
It was a great ball.
If she could have connected with that, it could easily be 1-0. So Eilish Brogan probably quite relieved actually to see that one not being connected with Rach.
Yeah, definitely. It was a big let off.
All cleared forward, but straight back into Army control here. Very much the possession queens so far in this game. They have had the majority of the play, which is probably not unexpected given the wind conditions. And the Navy holding out at the moment.
Yeah.
Toms plays.
The Navy can't seem to get hold of the ball at the minute, can they?
Yeah, they're giving it away a bit too early. They need a period of possession.
Great ball
But
down
this
that
is a
left.
great chance now for Anna Birtwistle down on that left-hand side. Looking for some support. Holds it up well. And that is a goal kick. Ellie Haynes there had the final touch. So 20.5 minutes gone, and it remains 0-0 in this final fixture of the 2026 Inter-Services Women's season.
Which, of course, the Royal Air Force are champions of.
That is the first time you've mentioned that this evening.
I've been told by the girls I'm supposed to do it 6 times, so you know,
Okay.
I'm doing well at the minute.
I'm counting. I'm actually chalking it off. It's a bit like chalking corners off, to be honest. As a reporter, you know, you write them down, all those bits of stats. So I'll mention that. I think both teams really adjusting pretty well to these conditions at the moment. Here's Ellie Haynes on the edge of the box, can't get the shot in. The Army will once again want to build this. Here's Amber Marsh. Bit of a loose one, but eventually it finds its way to Ellie Bishop now for the Navy. Nat Bavister, who's really decided to go into the centre area to see what she can pick up there, and there are some pickings, some loose pickings to pick up, and you just get the feeling that both of these teams are going to have, when they get their chances, they're going to have to take them.
Yeah, definitely. I think at the minute the Army defence have got so much time on the ball just to keep switching play. The Royal Navy just need to press them a bit more, but at the minute they seem to be sitting quite deep.
Toms. Again, another nice ball out to Imogen Fisher. Can Fisher get the cross in? She's challenged by
that's a corner.
Sophie Coburn.
Oh, he's given it. Okay,
And the referee's given her, I think it must have just come off Fisher right at the end there. That's a good challenge from Sophie Coburn there. PTI, of course, based down at the Britannia Royal Naval College down at Dartmouth. Who's made a bit of a name for herself actually organising a boxing tournament. Did an amazing job with a Navy tournament down there against Southwest Division a few weeks ago, which I was had a great pleasure to attend. And Sophie organised that and did an amazing job. But here come the Army once more on the edge of the box. Ellie Haynes just looking for an opportunity. Cross comes in from Toms, it's cleared away. And that's a really good effort by Izzy Crooks there, which was actually going maybe further wide than the commentator thought.
At first, when it left her foot, I did think it was more on target than it was.
I think the wind carried again. I think the wind carried it.
We'll blame the wind. We'll blame the wind.
But I think Eilish Brogan, just for a moment, was just slightly worried about that, but she made the save anyway. Halfway through this first half, still to get our first goal of the night. Despite that, both of these teams are giving it their very best out there. There are good 0-0s and there are bad 0-0s.
I'd rather it wasn't 0-0, I'll be honest.
Me too. So what can the Navy do here? But that, again, that free kick is just going to go harmlessly and carried literally almost out of play without even reaching the far touchline. So there are good 0-0s and there are bad 0-0s. Rachel, I'm very fortunate. My next door neighbour actually is a BBC 5 Live sports reporter, Charlie Slater, and he had the misfortune to be at the Leeds United Brentford game on Saturday night. And if you saw the highlights on Match of the Day 2, the highlights were exactly 10 seconds. It was not a good game. It was a bad 0-0. In fact, he did say to me, and this is obviously didn't broadcast this, but he did say that it was even a glass eye would have fallen asleep watching it. But any Leeds United fan, I'm sure Kempy's probably listening this evening, a Leeds United fan, but I'll tell you what, that was a really good point for Leeds against Brentford, who have been one of the most improved teams in the Premier League this season. So I'm sure for them that was a good point. And I can say this because one of my best friends is a Brentford fan as well, so and he knows exactly what I'm talking about. He actually fell asleep watching it on the TV.
Wow.
Army still looking to try and break the deadlock here. The Navy holding out at the moment. Ellie Naylor will clear it. And eventually, probably not as far as she was hoping.
Oh, there
it's just that final touch, isn't it, that's letting the Army down.
it is, yeah. They've been in the 18-yard box quite a few times, but not actually really done anything with it yet.
Similar pattern
It's
really to when
early,
they played you on Thursday. Their build-up play was pretty good, but the final third just let them down a little bit.
I think our defence were too strong for them, John.
Thank you. Well, you've got one of the strongest defences I've ever seen in military football, that's for sure.
I agree.
Well, that shot does come in there from Ellie Haynes. And Eilish Brogan just goes down to it. She decides to clear. And you can just see how the wind... You've got to play the ball on the floor, I think, in these windy conditions. Because opportunity's gone straight back to the Army. Again, that's a good cross coming in from Imogen Fisher. She's going to get it back. Is she in an offside position? Yes, she is. Flag goes up immediately. I think she knew she was offside.
I don't know, I think he's given a goal kick. I'm not sure.
Well, the flag certainly went up for offside. You're right, it's going to be a goal kick. Sophie Perrin is going to take it, one of the two Perrin sisters. Gets a bit of length on it, but again, it's straight back to the Army, and that's going to go out of play.
There's been a lot of the play over this side of the pitch, John. You can definitely see where the wind is.
Yeah, and tactically, if the Army could make more use of the left-hand side and get some dangerous crosses in, it could pose more danger to the Navy that way than on this side. But the ball it's sort of tending to go this way. It's almost like a sloping pitch, isn't it?
Yeah. Seems that way at the minute.
McFadden loses out again, and this is this is Ash Mills for the Army, and Sophie Perrin just lets that roll out of play. Approaching the half hour then, 28.5 minutes played. Still 0-0 between these two teams. I think goals might be at a premium tonight, just judging by how strong this wind is.
I'm hoping that was the commentator's curse, and we're now going to see
Well, exactly.
an abundance of
that
goals.
is exactly why
That's
I
what
said
I'm hoping.
it. That's exactly why I said it. Fisher.
Oh, nice. Oh, almost nice.
Yeah, it was a nice touch from Katie Elwood there, but just went slightly ahead of her colleague. Elwood will chase that. She'll get on the other side of Sophie Colburn, but that was really good play from the left back there. But she's given the ball away to Izzy Crooks on the edge of the box. She might go for goal here.
Oh,
And well, it was worth a try, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought that was going to dip in over actually.
Definitely worth a try, because that could curl around and swirl around, and maybe get away with it again.
Ooh.
And that's going to be a corner. I don't think the keeper's going to stop that. Sophie
wild
Colburn,
swing.
she just waves her hand up just to say, sorry, that was my mistake. But again, these conditions making it very, very difficult.
I imagine the Army keeper's quite cold out there. She hasn't really had much to do.
The second corner of the game then for the Army, floated in, and Elwood's on the end of it, and she's claiming a corner, but the referee says no, that is a goal kick. You could probably say that Katie Elwood's probably had the best chances so far for the Army. She's placed one wide and then put a header wide as well. But she's going to find the target if the Navy aren't careful. Good challenging there from Lauren Druitt. Ball comes back to Haynes. And out to Mills on that far side. Tom's shouting for it. She will receive that ball.
Yeah, she's always shouting for the ball down here.
Was it a lot of space
Tash
on this?
Toms,
Yeah.
very confident player.
Once again, that charge through, the ball just a little overhit by the Army again. Who do you think will be the happiest of the two coaches at the moment?
I'd say more than likely the Army coach would be happier with how their team's performed so far. However, I mean, it's 0-0, so
And here's Bavister.
So they might be frustrated that they haven't scored yet, and equally the Navy coach would be happy that with the pressure they've been put under, that they haven't conceded.
Oh, and that Bavister has won another throw-in on this left-hand side for the Navy. Only finds a red shirt though.
It's over.
Maywan's throw. Elwood charging through, just looking for that through ball, just trying to put in Anna Birtwistle, but she knew she was offside.
Yeah, she'd gone too early.
So free kick then to the Army here. We've got a couple of players over that ball who know what to do with free kicks. Courtney Jones is over it, actually finding it hard to keep the ball actually from moving. It's moving again.
Moving again, yeah.
But I think the referee will allow that to go. Mills.
Nah,
It's
she's
a
offside.
cross in and another
She looked
offside.
offside. She was offside.
Elwood
yes.
did look offside. The flag's gone up. You're quite right. It's good defensive tactics from the Navy here. So I mean, I think they knew that having lost the toss and facing this win, they knew they were going to be facing an Army onslaught, and they have defended well. They're keeping quite a high line, aren't they, as well? And here's Bavister, brings it clear now. First time touch, chase on from Abby Hindman, but goes straight to the Army keeper. They will build again on that left-hand side.
Yeah, the Army have definitely had most possession so far. They've. Oh,
But
hang
now-
on. Let's just have a look.
Real chance for the Navy.
Great shot.
Well, Kate Bowden, she just saw opportunity there, and that was certainly the best chance the Navy have had in this first half. Again, the wind carried it, I think. I think she'd hit it on target, but the wind again carried it away to the left-hand side. Maybe you've got to aim for the corner flag, and maybe a warning there for the Army that the Navy will have an opportunity. They'll get an opportunity or two. Is Bowden again. Sophie Colburn slips over. Can the Army win it back? They certainly can. That's a nice play from Imogen Fisher. Now it's again, Navy just can't win that final ball. Army scurrying around with the Izzy Crooks challenging. Here's Bowden again for the Navy. That's a good through ball. If it can be chased by Hindman, she can. Good challenging from the Navy with Robin McFadden, and ball goes out of play. That'll be a Navy throw.
Yeah, the Navy did well then. Yeah, it got a little bit scrappy in the middle there, just briefly, but yeah, the Navy have done well to have a small bit of possession and get it into the Army half.
Remains 0-0. If you're just joining us live here on our Forces News YouTube channel this evening for the last part of the Inter-Services Women's Championship 2026. These two teams battling to avoid the wooden spoon and also those all-important Army-Navy bragging rights. So the Navy have won 4 of the last 5 of these meetings, but it was the Army who came good last year by 2-0.
Yeah, I was speaking to Babs before the game, and she's saying how they would love to win that trophy back again tonight.
And it is really important actually to have a trophy to play for, isn't it, as well tonight? It's,
yeah, definitely, especially when the championship's gone like this, and this game is now, well, like you just said, for the wooden spoon, if you like. But yeah, the fact that there's a trophy to play for is always nice, and as you say, bragging rights,
which are just as important.
Winning the inter-services is more important though, John.
It is the most important thing, of course it is, yeah. And of course there's a big UCAF game to look forward to as well, coming up next month, isn't there, with the first meeting ever between the UCAF women and the French.
It should be a really good game. The French are a very strong team, so it'll be very interesting to see how UCAF go up against them at Bracknell.
And I would say that if UCAF were to win that, you would be the undisputed champions of Europe of women's in military football.
Yeah, definitely.
Having beaten the Dutch and the Irish, of course. If you can get one over on the French as well, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, it'd be incredible. See what the girls can pull out the bag next month.
"38 minutes gone, so I don't recall too many stoppages. I don't recall a single stoppage so far in this first half, so I don't expect at the moment we'll have too much added time at the end of this first half. We can all go and get a half-time cup of tea.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I think the Army keeper needs one at the minute. She looks very cold out there.
Yeah, she does.
She hasn't had a great deal to do.
No.
But then, I mean, to be honest, the Navy keeper hasn't particularly had a great deal to do either. Just a little bit more than the Army keeper. Yes, the Army have dominated possession so far, but they've yet to do anything with it. But
here's Burt
there's
Whistle.
still time, plenty of time. Let's see what they do
That's
here.
nice play from them. That's a good, strong challenge from the Navy offence. Nat Bavister back helping, but the cross will go in. In fact, it turns into a shot in the end from Tash Toms there.
Nice little bit of build-up play from the Army just then.
I'll just feel if this wind drops, which it doesn't show too much sign of doing at the moment, it could work in their favour. That's good play from Katie Elwood there, just shielding the ball well. Ellie Haynes back to her goalkeeper. I think just to give her a touch of the ball. Haynes again. Army will build then from this left-hand side, instead going down the middle. And that's
nice
a lovely ball through.
there.
Now, what can Imogen Fisher do here? Goalkeeper comes out, makes the save.
She did very well to come out for that. It was a
Yeah.
lovely ball through.
Good anticipation. It was nice work then for the Army from Lauren Druitt there. Oh dear. Well, bit less said, the better about that clearance. I think she kind of got away with it, really.
Yeah, she might not want to see that one again.
We won't show it on the replay. Another throw then to the Army in a familiar position in this first half.
They'll be hoping
Now.
to get something from this half after
Let's
putting in
do
a
it.
dominating performance. Oh, nice
It's
shot.
worth a try.
Just over.
Yeah, it's worth a try from Ash Mills there, and it's that sort of, if anyone can latch onto it from that left-hand side, it could easily fly into the net. It needs a deflection or a bit of luck. The Navy then have the goal kick, which will be taken by Sophie Perrin. Trying to get the ball as high up the field as possible. Look how the wind's brought it back though. Difficult for them. Army now have a chance, and it's Burt Whistle, and she has scored.
Superb ball.
Yeah,
through to
well,
Anna there.
it's just the person that you wanted that ball to fly to. Anna Burt Whistle has tucked the ball into the net. The Navy defence finally breached here, and it's the Army who score first blood this evening in this inter-services game, and Anna Burt Whistle showing all her experience.
Yeah, it's a great little through ball through to Anna, and a very clinical finish. I did wonder if it was going to be offside just briefly, but the flag never went up. So very good goal from the Army.
Well, the Army have deserved that lead for the pressure that they have put on the Royal Navy, and it was a lovely through ball. Anna Burt Whistle said thank you very much indeed, slotting it into the net, and it's a perfect time to score, isn't it, just before half-time?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the worst time to concede, but the best time to score, definitely. But yeah, the Army definitely deserved that goal. They've definitely looked the stronger team out of the two.
Going for it
so
again.
the Navy will have to come out in the second half and really put it to them.
Well, not a lot of the goalkeepers who do there. Eilish Brogan. The Army have shown an awful lot of determination in this first half, and they're going for a second goal here. This time the shot comes in from Izzy Crooks, but it is blocked. Navy will try and get something themselves, but they've lost out again, and here's Druitt. Picked up now by Elwood, wide to the byline. She keeps the ball in play, still going. Eventually it's cleared by the Navy. The Navy looking a bit leggy. I think they're probably having to do about twice as much running as as the Army, because they've just not had the ball.
Yeah, the Army have definitely made them move about a lot in this first half. So let's see what the wind does for them in the second half, unless it changes direction like that game you saw.
Well, Tash Toms. Yeah, that's going back to the 1970s, a game at Molineux between Wolves and Leicester, I seem to remember.
Oh, of course it's a Leicester game. I should have guessed.
It's one of the few times that Leicester were on during that period. But I do remember Jimmy Hill talking about match of the day, how about it was Wolves actually who had the wind in both halves, but it was a 0-0 draw in the end.
Was it a good 0-0 or a bad one?
Oh, it was definitely a good one. Army again have a bit of space here for Ash Mills. Ball goes to wide onto that left, and Anna Birtwistle again finds her way through to Izzy Crooks on the edge of the box. And Navy have got to clear. The last thing they need is to concede a second goal in these last few moments of the first half. Tash Toms. She'll play it safe back to Courtney Jones. So much more space for the Army against the Navy tonight than, of course, they had against the RAF a few days ago. Only 5 days ago. Could have been 5 months ago. Yeah. Just with the weather conditions, it's like sort of mid-January today.
Yeah, I think the difference, the RAF attacking girls were put the Army defence under a lot of pressure, and the Navy aren't doing that tonight, and it's maybe a tactic they need to change in the second half.
Well, they'll need to use the wind advantage. Whether they can, of course, is another matter. But they've had one attempt which went wide in the end, but just a bit of a chance for them on this far side. It's going to be cleared away eventually by Amber Marsh, with Matt Bavister chasing after it. Pick it up again. This is Hindman. The Army just stronger on the ball. That's really lovely, intricate play, and that indeed is the last action of the first half, with Katie Elwood just wishing that she could have gone away there with Imogen Fisher as well. So there we go, the first half. It took a while, but we did get a goal in the end, and it was a very well taken goal, wasn't it, Rach, from someone who knows how to find the back of the net in Anna Birtwistle.
Yeah, it's a very well taken goal, and I'd say a deserved lead by the Army. They have been the team with the most possession, and they've dominated the first half. So let's see what the Navy can do in the second half, if they can bring the game back to them, or if the Army will get a few more and push on.
Well, we'll see. Don't forget, we've got the whole of the second half to come live here on our Forces News YouTube channel for you. But at this half-time stage, it's time to take a look back at some of the other Forces sport that's been going on. In fact, we're going to stay with football, and you'll be very pleased about this, Rach, because we're now going to show you some highlights from last Thursday's game.
Oh, just what we want to see.
With the Royal Air Force claiming that 6th successive inter-services title. That's the second time you've mentioned it, by the way. But we'll be back again for the second half, so don't go away as we now pick up the action from last Thursday's match.
right across the box. It's a big chance.
Great play by the Navy there, fantastic football.
And it's a goal! The Army have an all-important second goal.
Full time in this match. Thrilling stuff, especially in the second half.
One game plan, and it's paid off.
Nice ball downfield. It's chased by Lucy Farrow. Gets a great cross in, and on the end of it, and was Olivia Smart there, but it was great defending from the Army. The RAF, what can they do? They're pressing forward, looking to press this advantage. Claim for offside, referee says play on, as Jessica Carr goes in. Shot comes in. Well, it was certainly worth a try for the Air Force there. So we haven't had a 0-0 draw for quite a few years between these two teams. The last goal was some time ago, but the RAF chance for there, and well, I talked about a 0-0, and that was just a commentary curse, wasn't it? Because it was Lucy Farrow who just got on the end of that. The Army just caught. It was a quick break from the RAF, and it's Lucy Farrow who's got the goal. Cat Beaver puts the ball through once again,
Offside.
and it is a brilliant save. It looked offside to me, I have to say. It looked, but there was no flag. Free kick from Jenkins comes in. RAF very strong at the back. Shot goes in, and it's into the back of the net. It was a brilliant turn from Georgia Carr, and it is second goal. It just slipped through the fingers there. I think most neutrals, you might disagree, Jack, but I think most people will say that they deserve to be ahead for their possession and how dangerous they've looked when they're going forward. But still a long way to go yet in this match.
Yeah, they've had the chances. They've taken the ones.
They've got another one here. Goalkeeper has to come out. Doesn't make the save. It's clipped against the crossbar, and once again it's Georgia Carr who got the effort in. Good cross coming in. Oh, and another great save, and another opportunity there for Georgia Carr, who found herself totally unmarked. Here's Carr, through ball, and that's a brilliant effort, and that is a superb goal from Abby Hayes, and once again an RAF fullback has scored for the RAF. What a cracking effort that was. Ball goes high up, that will be a corner, but it won't be, because that is the last kick of the game, and it is congratulations to the Royal Air Force, who for a sixth time have become the Inter-Services Women's Champions.
Fantastic start for the red shirts. Start they've been dreaming of. Absolutely fantastic from the left winger for the Royal Air Force.
What a try, wonder try from the Army.
Hi, I'm Kyle Dixon, and this is In Case You Missed It. The British Army men's rugby union team have continued their inter-service preparations with an impressive win against a Coventry 15. The Army turned up to Butts Park Arena hoping to nail down the tactical plans that they'll take to their RAF and Navy clashes in 2026, and a 44-26 win was the perfect night for Lieutenant Colonel Tim Oseman's team. They take on the French Army in a Le Crunch clash on March the 25th. Spanish sun on the Spanish hills. Just check out these point-of-view shots from the trails. The Royal Navy and Royal Marines mountain biking team are on a warm weather training camp in southern Spain. It's a chance for the military cyclists to take on a new terrain, and they're testing themselves on difficult courses. The British Army powerlifting team have taken part in an important fixture against Loughborough University. The military lifters delivered their best in what they hope will become a regular varsity fixture. The Army's Ollie Robson was the best overall lifter as the under 93 kg category winner, with a joint personal best of 715 kg total. The UK Armed Forces Under-23s men's rugby union team have beaten Bath University in dominant fashion. A fast start saw UCAF race into a 28-5 lead at half-time, and from there they never looked back. Their dominance continued in the second half as they added 19 more points to their total in a 47-15 win. The Army's Tom Bullock was captain of the team, while the Navy's George Pooley was vice-captain. Two Forces boxers have been selected to compete at a prestigious international tournament in Hungary. The Army's Lance Corporal Neve Brooks and Royal Marine Kyle Shaw-Tullin will take to the ring in the 70th Boschka Istvan tournament. A great performance could boost their Commonwealth Games hopes. Dominant champions, but hungry challengers. The Inter-Services Championships were at RAF Cosford for 2026, and the Open tournament began with an Army v Navy clash. The team in red are usually dominant winners, and while they did grab the victory, the Navy performance saw plenty of positives.
Lovely feed by Kiani. That's gone straight in. Contact
by each other's, yeah. Lovely. From Sue, back in the shooting circle.
Nice pop pass.
Ball. Yeah, well seen. No, that is the end. So, the first game of this Open competition in Inter-Services Netball 2026. It is the British Army, the reigning and defending champions, 48. The Royal Navy, 29.
We're back to only 8 girls on the squad again, so it is hard, and we did fight till the end. Our first 2 quarters, absolutely amazing from us. There's some things we need to work on, as definitely against RAF tomorrow, but I think we can tidy that up and we can give them a good game tomorrow as well.
The confidence that gave the Navy was on full show in match 2 against the RAF.
Sarah Yules then for the Royal Navy.
The game of the tournament followed.
Kaylee Brearcliffe with first attempt, and that's another goal for the RAF. So the RAF with the advantage here in this second quarter, but they are now only 4 goals behind.
Neither side gave an inch. Brilliant attacking play meant goals, goals and more goals. But it was the Navy who picked up the win by the most slender advantage.
Count down the clock. It's 6 seconds.
Now for the Navy.
It's just 4 seconds. We're nearly there. Navy keep the ball. They're just keeping the ball. It's a win. It's a 1-goal win for the Royal Navy. Absolutely brilliant. 42 to the Royal Navy, 41, and what a comeback by the RAF.
30 seconds of netball is a lot of time. People try to rush it, but it's time to play it calm. 30 seconds is like the game is like you need to play it calm, get that last goal in, or play possession like we did, and thank God we did.
To come back that final bit, it's obviously gutting that we didn't get the 1 extra goal that we needed, but I think it shows that we can keep going for a full 60 minutes and keep pushing. So I'm hoping we'll take that in for the Army tomorrow and hopefully come out again and hopefully win.
With a final match still to go, attention turned to the growth of the men's game. An Army v RAF clash was a showcase for the male talent in the military. The Royal Air Force are arguably the more technically gifted side, but the Army's level of flair and ingenuity gave them a competitive and ultimately successful edge. In the Masters tournament, it's back-to-back championships for the RAF, while the Army won the development title for the 15th consecutive time. And then it all came down to this, for the Open Trophy. An organised and determined RAF performance was the best shot of stopping the Army, but the red winning runaway train continued in 2026. And after 22 years in the military sport, Ellie Noeli hung up her boots as a champion.
Thank you so much to the girls behind me, the girls on the stage, the Army Netball as a whole, for such a brilliant opportunity. This is my last one with the Open team.
You can actually confirm that now.
I am confirming that now, and it's online. Yeah, shout out to everyone who's come out in numbers and support us for this IS. It's been a roller coaster for me this season, especially with injuries. But I'm glad I took the court on this last match today and came out with that score with a win.
Right across the box, it's a big chance.
Great play by the Navy there, fantastic football.
And it's a goal! The Army have an all-important second goal.
Full time in this match. Thrilling stuff, especially in the second half.
One game plan, and it's paid off.
Well, welcome back to Westleigh Park here for the start of the second half of this inter-services match between the Royal Navy and the British Army. And well, the rain is absolutely pouring down on us here.
It's got wind,
Rachel Hales.
over
It has
the
got,
half-time.
yeah, it has. I think it's just got a bit stronger, and the rain which we were promised is certainly falling. The Navy have made a substitution actually as well. Coming on for them is number 18, who is Tony Stewart. She's coming on, I think, has replaced Ellie Naylor at number 6, but we will confirm that. Thanks for all your messages, by the way. We've lost a bit of connectivity earlier on because of the weather, but just a few mentions maybe you'd like to just do. Rach, can you see there? I know that someone said Leeds. I'm not quite sure who that would have been.
We don't need to mention that one.
But we are just about to get away for the second half here. The Army kicking from right to left. They have this lead, of course, a 1-0 lead. Anna Birtwistle scoring on 41 minutes just before half-time to give the Army a deserved lead. But they are now kicking into this very strong wind and rain in this second half. So very much up to the Navy then to see if they can produce the sort of attacking display that we've seen from the Army in that first 45 minutes. But it's the Army straight away who are pushing forward with Tash Toms, who's looked very dangerous on that right hand side. Navy though intercepting with Heinzman. Nice ball across field, and now here's Wan. Beats off one challenge, but I think that'll be dealt with by Courtney Jones for the Army. Don't forget, you would have seen the promo there for the boxing. That's coming up on Thursday evening. We're staying down here in the Portsmouth area, obviously tomorrow for the men's inter-services game between the Royal Navy and the British Army, and then on Thursday nights it's the inter-services boxing championships at HMS Nelson. We'll be there for that live. But how's the Army once more coming forward then with goal kick, the referee says in the end. Katie Elwood's unsuccessful. The rain absolutely lashing down here now, along with the high winds. It's an autumn storm in the middle of the end of March.
Yeah, what happened to spring? I look like a handball.
Well, you blinked and missed it, basically.
It happened last week for a couple of days.
It is. Here's the Army though with Ash Mills. Intercepted. Courtney Jones playing what will be her last inter-services match, but as you said earlier on, Rach, quite likely she'll be featuring for UCAF in their coming up matches, including that presumably. I would imagine that she'd be very much in the frame for the match against the French next month, if she's available. And of course that's the one thing we have to remember about availability of players. You know, everyone is on standby at the moment, aren't they? And or actually in operational mode. Now Bavister has intercepted that. What can she do on that far side? Finds Hindman. Charles going up for it. And that's it was certainly worth an effort again from Kate Bowden. She had a shot in the first half which went just wide.
She did.
It was certainly worth a try. The conditions deteriorating here. If they could have got any worse, they're certainly getting worse. But these players giving it their very best out on the pitch there. That's some nice work from the Navy there. Robin McFadden getting involved. The Army again with Elwood. McFadden. Just a little bit too hard, unfortunately, for the Army fan. A Burt Whistle, scorer of that opening goal for the Army. She took it so well, didn't she? It was not an easy chance, but you know, you find yourself, you know, with a goalkeeper rushing towards you, but she tucked it away beautifully into the corner.
It was well placed, yeah, across the keeper into the far corner.
Now, what can the Navy do here? They've got a bit of space on this in this midfield area. Here's McFadden. Loses out though. Army, Izzy Crooks mopping up the damage. Goes out to Tash Toms. Good work again from Imogen Fisher, who's again, they've worked really well on that right hand side, haven't they, that Army pair?
Yeah, they had a great first half down on this right hand side, and it looks like they've carrying on where they left off.
Yeah. Ellie Haynes there with the attempt on goal. It was on target, so Eilish Brogan had to be on her toes to make sure that didn't get past her. She goes long with the kick, and you can see how much ground that she's made, but again the Navy not able to make anything of that at the moment.
Oh, she's done
what
well there.
What can they do here? McFadden again, that's going to go right out of the ground again. Maywan. Just building from the back. which is what they have to do in this this second half with the wind in their faces. There's not a lot of point in going long, and they did it very successfully in the first half when they had the wind in their favour. That's nice control from Bert Whistle, but Maywan wins it back for the Navy. Bit of space then on that far side of the field. And they will get the throw. Thompson with the throw, headed on by Elwood, and it's safely in the hands of the goalkeeper. She goes long again. Not the best tactic to use, because all her colleagues and teammates were still back helping the defence, so they really needed to play out there.
Yeah, with the wind, when the Navy keeper gets the ball, they just need to try and play out a bit. Oh, this
that's going to be
out.
a corner, yeah. So that's the Navy's first corner of the game. But once again, that wind dominated, dominated the whole thing there. So the Navy now have an opportunity here. Their first corner of the match. Going over to take it will be Sophie Perrin.
Talking of Sophie Perrin, we've had Alex Perrin shout out, "Come on, the Navy!" with a shout out to Soph and Tash.
Again, you must be very proud, these two sisters, making a bit of military football history. The first sisters ever to play together in inter-services matches. They played obviously against the Air Force. Perrin takes the corner long, and that is floating around in the box. Oh, and it could have gone just about anywhere. The wind sort of carried it backwards and forwards, and on the floor at the moment is Sophie Colburn. She was desperately trying to go up for that, to try and make that ball.
It looked like the wind could have taken that in the back of the net then, actually.
Could easily have flown in, couldn't it?
Keeper did well. Keeper did really well there.
Yeah, keeper did well. Sophie really going for it, and she's obviously taken it in the face.
We'll have to see if on the 67th minute Katie Elwood scores, because Yasmin Williams says, "Let's go Army." Katie Elwood, goal 67th minute. So if she can see into the future, we'll see.
You might have heard a bit of a bang and a crash there. Fortunately, nothing to do with our equipment here, but the Navy have obviously put their own camera up for training purposes, and the tripod has literally blown over in the wind. It just goes to show you how strong this wind is here today. Wouldn't want to be out on the Solent tonight, would you?
Oh no.
The Isle of Wight ferry wouldn't be a lot of fun.
Not for the faint-hearted.
No, but the seafarers, presumably they're just taking it in their stride. So the drop ball, and the Army will attempt to bring it forward. Here's Sophie Perrin. Finds one. Perrin launches it forward. Out of play. Army throw. Ash Mills trying to go long. Nice control from Bert Whistle. That's really nice play from the Army. Got an opportunity here to go forward, but it's Katie Elwood doesn't get there first. Keeper makes it in time. Remains 1-0.
Yeah, it was a nice bit of play from the Army. They just couldn't quite get onto that final ball.
Strong defensive play from the Army captain. keeping the Navy at bay.
Oh,
And
she's
here
through.
comes Elwood now. She's got an opportunity here. Plays the ball wide instead into an opportunity then for Fisher. Army pick it up again. And the shot eventually comes through from Izzy Crooks, but
I think it was one pass too many there.
it was one pass too many, and the Army might rue that opportunity. The chance for them to get a second goal early in this second half would have really put them in the driving seat. But it's the Navy bringing it clear again. McFadden. Nice control from the substitute. Stewart, who's come on, wearing number 18. Tom's back to her goalkeeper. Army playing this very sensibly with Courtney Jones. Here's one. Good work from her. Snuffed out though by the Army. Here's Birtwistle. That's lovely control from Anna Birtwistle. Very sensibly plays it out onto an opportunity for the Army. Goalkeeper comes out, makes the save, denying Lauren Druitt. Anna Birtwistle has, since she scored, she's just showing a bit of class, isn't she, in the middle there?
Yeah, it was a nice bit of play cutting in just then from Anna. Keeper's probably just hurt herself on the surface. It's not exactly the nicest surface to slide on.
The wind blowing right into our camera position here.
It's good fun. I'm enjoying it, John.
Well, we're very lucky that we've got a certain amount of shelter here from the wind, but it is not easy. Another substitution, and one has gone off now, and the Navy making their second change of the game, and coming on for them is Olivia Truhella. Good work from the Navy again. This good work then from Kate Bowden. Navy not out of this by any means, you know.
No, 1-0 is a very dangerous scoreline. Oh, she's done well.
Toms brings it clear. But it's anyone's game in the middle of that field at the moment. The players finding it so hard just to sort of get any sort of control of the ball.
Yeah, people talk about a cold, wet, windy Tuesday night at Stoke, but we've got it here at Havant and Waterlooville, haven't we, John?
Well, we have indeed, Rach. We played an hour. We have half an hour left. Half an hour left for the Navy to try and get back into this game. Half an hour left for the Army to cement this lead with a second goal. Army throw inside their own half. Ash Mills will take it. Just checking, looking for some support. Go straight down the pitch, and
I think it came out in and out.
In and out, and
yeah.
the Navy get it. Strahella then with the throw for the Navy. As they search to get back into this game. Driving rain, Birtwistle again. Ball goes out wide. Chance for them. Goalkeeper will have to come, and she does make it. Marsh just guides that away, and so we will await for another goal kick to the Army. Just to give you some idea, I'm actually stood right back inside our commentary position here, using the monitor to help follow the play, because
Yeah, I thought you were going for a sat down, John.
Because my glasses are just so covered in water, I can't actually see the play. it's incredible conditions, but the players are doing so well. Birtwistle again is kind of making absolute fun of the conditions. She gets the shot in. That's great play, great individual play from Anna Birtwistle.
Yeah, the keeper did well to keep hold of it though, because there was she was being hassled down.
If anything, the Army are threatening a second goal here.
Not overly sure what that was for.
I'll say a big thank you to Scott, who's just literally wiped my specs away, so I can actually see. I can actually see the play. And the free kick then for the Army, which will be taken by Courtney Jones, their captain, going right into this wind and into this driving rain. Really is a foul night.
The ball won't stay still then.
Jones then takes the free kick. It almost comes right back to her. Can the Navy break away here? They do win. They win a free kick. It looks like once again Sophie Colburn, who's gone down. She's been a bit in the wars in this second half. Very nearly scored an equaliser. I think the Army just content at the moment just to play the ball at the back, which is probably a sensible approach to make, rather than making any unnecessary attempts to go forward. And the onus has got to be on the Navy, of course, to get themselves back into this. Offside flag has gone up, I think, and so the Navy will be able to launch something forward. They've not been able to make use of this win so far, have they, Rach, in the second half, as we maybe expected they would do?
Yeah, not yet, but the goal is sorry, the game is still very much open. It's only 1-0. The Army have still yet to. Oh, Anna's doing well here.
Anna Birtwistle, absolutely ruling the roost at the moment, just winning everything that comes her way. Nat Bavister will chase on that.
Yeah, the Army have still yet to reap the benefits of having a lot of the possession. So the Navy is still very much in it, and with the weather, I mean, who knows which way this game can go still.
Whether our commentary position will stay in one piece, that's a slight worry.
That's a big worry at the minute.
Absolutely not. It's as solid as anything. The Navy have the throw on this near side. Goes into the box. If they can get something out of this. There's Nat Bavister chasing everything. That was an important challenge actually made by the Army's Sky Stone, and because that could quite easily have put McFadden through. Get a long hopeful ball forward. Army collect it. Here's Druitt. Edge of the box, takes the shots.
Oh, it's gone in. Has it? No,
it's gone wide. No, it looked like it had gone in.
It did,
and
yeah.
it was a really good save actually from Brogan in the Navy goal there to keep that out. It was a again, a lot of space available there for Lauren Druitt.
Yeah, it's a good shot, very good save. From this angle, I thought it had gone in the net, but no, it hadn't. It was a very good save. I didn't know if she was going to cross it. There was 2 Army players coming in the middle and at the back post, but no, it was a decent shot.
Well, Ash Mills will amble over onto that far side. I'm not sure ambling is probably the right word to use, but she'll certainly make her way across there to take this corner. Army's corner. An in-swinger. Ball could just about go anywhere. Army trying to get that ball back in. Shot goes in, and it's back into the net. And it is Anna Birtwistle again who's got the goal. Well, she picked the ball up on the edge of the box. The ball was hanging around there, and well, again, it's fallen beautifully for Birtwistle. If you're looking for a player of the match, you haven't got to look too much further than Anna Birtwistle.
I'll be honest, with a player of her quality, I was surprised that she was left unmarked in the 18-yard box.
She was left unmarked right inside the 18-yard box, and first time fires it home, and that gives the Army a 2-0 lead. And Eilish Brogan just now receiving a bit of attention in her goal. She, I think, unable to stop that from going in. It was a really well taken goal from Birtwistle, but you're quite right. She was unmarked there in the box, and the Navy really would have had to have done better. So while the keeper gets some attention, the players taking a little break themselves. I don't think you can say they're taking a warm weather drinks break.
Probably just trying to get some shelter.
Absolutely.
Good luck with that. We're under shelter and we're soaked, John. Look at us.
I know, it's I don't think I've experienced this before, covering a football game in these sort of conditions, when actually you almost feel like you're outside. And the referee is now, the ball is actually travelled all on its own, away from the centre circle. You can see how far it's now gone.
Sorry, John, I just need to bring this up. Yasmin Williams said it wasn't Katie that scored on the 67th, but it was a goal for the Army. You're absolutely right. So, well done. You guessed there would be a 67th minute goal, and there was.
Yep. Well, we have a viewer saying, can someone wipe the camera? We can't see a thing.
I think
join the club.
We are trying to keep wipe the cameras, but it's quite difficult.
It is. Both our cameramen, Andy and Lewis, are literally, when you don't see their camera shot, they're actually wiping their lens at the moment. That's how difficult it is for them. Navy desperately trying to get themselves back into the game. $2-0 down though. It's looking very much like this is going to be the Army's match, but we still have time to go. The Army looking very confident here. Ellie Hayes, that's a good through ball, and an important challenge then from Sophie Colburn, and she now brings that ball clear. It's just over, hits it again. Swirling around the floodlights in the wind. Colburn then with the throw. She'll pick it up again, drives it forward, but that's not going to be any danger at all to the Army. Safely back with their goalkeeper. Tyrell Bell. All credit to the Navy, they're keeping it going. They're still trying to get themselves into the game.
Yeah, the Navy just needs to get their foot on the ball and get some possession and get some more shots off with this weather. And equally, the Army just want to probably slow it down and frustrate them, or get a third and really see the game off. Oh, that was a great little ball.
A chase on for Tony Stewart, and she's made it on that far side. Gets a shot come cross in. Trying to get someone on the end of it. These are incredibly difficult conditions. They really are. Keep going on about it, but it's so difficult for the players. And they're doing well. Here's Stewart again on the edge of the box, gets the shot in, goes wide in the end, but that's better play from the Navy here. Be interesting to see how far anyone can get this goal kick up the field with the wind as strong as it is. So 72 minutes gone. A change being made by the Army over on that far side of the field. It looks like it's Izzy Crooks who has gone off. Actually, no, it's number 4 who's gone off. That's Amber Marsh, and is being replaced by Abby Winnett, wearing number 16. So I think that's the first change that the Army have made in this game. The second change that they've made, Rach. Yeah, they made 2 changes. Yeah.
Yeah, they just made a double change. I didn't actually see who else went off.
I think it was number 14. I think Izzy Crooks definitely went off wearing number 14. So obviously Army feeling they can make these changes now.
Oh, Court just shielded that out of play, thinking it was a goal kick, but the ref's given a corner.
So Navy have their second corner of the game. Maybe looking for an in-swinger here, which did cause a few problems in the early stages of the second half.
Yeah, I'd probably have put Bavs on this with her left foot.
So the corner comes in, goalkeeper goes up for it and was fouled. So unfortunately for the Navy, Sophie Perrin's corner didn't come to anything. Army then happy to get it clear. Is Anna Birtwistle. What a second half. What a game she's had so far.
She'll be wanting a hat-trick.
Yeah, hat-tricks are pretty rare in inter-services football, so...
I'd say the last one was probably by Pip Wilton.
Yeah.
Against the Army, for the RAF, back in 2023.
Yeah, I'm sure, Pip, if you're watching tonight, everyone's thinking about you at the moment. The difficult family situation at the moment, and obviously she had to depart your squad, didn't she?
Yeah, on the day of the Army game.
On Thursday, which I know affected everybody, but you did it for her.
Yeah, and we had a bit of a celebration thing go on actually in that game, because we'd seen Pip celebrate the goal against one of the goals against the Navy by doing a bit of an airplane celebration, which we did joke about with her. So then we decided actually that when she went home that as and when the girls hopefully scored, that would be the celebration for Pip. So we managed to do it 3 times, which was great, and it put a smile on her face, which was nice.
Yeah, she needs that at the moment. Navy charging through again, looking for a goal to get them back into the game, and that is a shot on target. Comes through, and it was certainly worth a try from Robin McFadden, who of course scored against the RAF in that 2-1 defeat 3 weeks ago. What can the Navy do here? So obviously they're driving forward, they're looking for the opportunity. It's going to leave maybe some gaps at the back, so don't be surprised if the Army can add a 3rd goal here.
Yeah, I think the Navy needs to take some risks now, definitely. We've been 2 goals down. They need to push players forward.
they come once more. That's great work from the number 9.
Nice ball.
Oh, and a chance then for a third goal, and it's gone wide. It's good goalkeeping again, really brave goalkeeping to deny Imogen Fisher there the opportunity. So well done to the Navy keeper.
Yeah, it was a nice little bit of play, good ball through, but yeah, some great goalkeeping.
Yeah, Brogan did a good job there, and she obviously picked up an injury when the Army scored their second goal, but she's picked herself up. And it's another corner then to the British Army. Floated in. And that is Lauren Druitt has gone down. Looks like she caught the ball actually with her head, but I think just looking to see what happened. Referee's calling for some support for her. Yeah, I think there was a bit of a clash there. She went up for the ball with one of the Navy defenders, and she definitely came off second best. Imogen Fisher just crouching over her at the moment to make sure she's okay. She's moving. And when you get an injury in these sort of conditions as well, Rach, it makes it 10 times worse.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure she'll be fine. I think she just got a slight knock, as you say, and she'll be straight back up and running around again in any time. Yeah, the last thing you want to do in these conditions is sit down in the middle of the pitch.
77 minutes played here, and the Army with this 2-0 lead now. Navy have got to find something if they can to get themselves back into it, but it's going to be very, very difficult for them now.
Yeah, if they can get a goal back in the next 5 minutes or so, then obviously who knows, but it's getting that goal. And if the Army get the next goal, then obviously that's the game fully put to bed.
Navy just taking a bit of a break again, just while Lauren Druitt is still being treated.
And we're just trying to get some shelter, John. We're getting further and further back in this gantry.
You know, we're actually stood right at the back of the TV gantry here.
We won't be able to see the pitch soon, but we'll be dry.
Can't see the pitch. I'll just say it's number 5 got in at the moment. But I think in all the years I've been covering football, I don't think I've ever had to work in conditions like this. Even still on the touchline. So thank you very much indeed to Havant and Waterlooville
for giving us rain,
the rain and the wind and everything in this lovely spring evening here.
Paul Hodges, a 2-goal pullback. It can be done. You're absolutely right. It definitely can.
Yep.
There'll be a few minutes added on as well with this stoppage in play.
Yeah, we'll probably have about 10 minutes of stoppage time at this rate.
But hopefully she's all right. She's still down actually.
Yeah, it's not looking good for her.
Hopefully they're just checking that she's definitely okay if it was a knock to the head. But it's never nice to see a player down injured for long.
And of course the players as well, they've got to try and keep warm as well. The one thing they're able to do when they're running around the pitch is to stay warm. So she's getting back to her feet now. Well, we think she is.
Yeah, she's back up.
Yeah. And just making a few ginger steps.
She plays civvy football with Cat Beaver, I believe. Lauren?
Yeah, Wycombe Wanderers.
Yeah. They're having a good season. They've just got to the League Cup final, I believe, at the weekend. They won their semi-final.
Well, Lauren Guild just walking very, very gingerly. So I'd imagine that Army will make a change here.
Yeah, they haven't got anyone ready, so I'm not sure. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, they
Someone's just taken their bib off, so
yeah,
maybe I'm fibbing.
I think a change is going to be made.
Yes, it is.
Because she doesn't look like she can carry on. And at this late stage in the game,
there's no point risking it,
no, there's
especially
no
with
point
a
taking
potential
more
head
risks.
injury. So hopefully Lauren's okay.
So Lauren is going off, and she'll be replaced by Indy Totti, who's going to come on.
It's a great name, Totti.
I'm sure there's some Italian connection there somewhere, Rach. Very quickly helped back by Abby Winnett, who's also one of the substitutes for the Army, back to her goalkeeper. Tyrrell Bell, who's had a pretty quiet game, not had much to do in the second half, very little to do in the first half. The Army trying to build up again, see if they can get a third goal here. Imogen Fisher's gone out onto the left-hand side now, so the change has been made. And Shannon Bradley is on as well, wearing number 11. It's a wild old night here down on the Hampshire coast. So an Army throw then on this near side, which will be taken by Ash Mills. That's a good through ball. Chance then for the Army to add a third here, and it's a little chip there from Sky Stone, but decided to chip it.
It was a good little bit of play, direct right through the middle, just carved the defence open, but yeah, she just couldn't quite get the shot away on target.
Remains 2-0 into the last 10 minutes of this game. And there will be a little bit, obviously a bit of stoppage time for that injury there to Lauren Druitt. Hope that she's okay.
Yeah, talking of Beeves just now, Cat Beaver, more goals please, and go on the Hauser and John. Thanks Beeves, and hi to any of the RAF girls, the inter-service champions that may be watching.
Okay, that's the third time you've mentioned it. I think
there's only 3 more to go, John.
3 more to go, you're running out of time here. And you know what, if the Army or the Navy were inter-services champions and we had a member of their team with us tonight, they would be doing exactly the same thing.
I would fully expect it. It's just a bit of friendly banter.
You've got to make the most of these opportunities, these good times. They are great times for RAF women's football at the moment.
That is a great ball.
Lovely ball from Bradley, but
it's been dealt with well.
Yeah, it was. Sophie Colburn did really well there to collect it and shield the ball away. So Navy try to get something back. Marsh finds her goalkeeper. Perrin. Bit of a missed kick there. That was directed back eventually. Army just look like they could add a third goal here. The Navy just seem to have lost it a little bit.
the wind's gonna take that one out of play.
Well, Courtney Jones just making sure that everything is shielded back. Talking to her goalkeeper there. I'm sure they'll just play this ball out, won't they? There's no point in going. There's no point in going long because it won't go long. Saying that.
It didn't go far, did it?
Didn't
The
go
wind
too far
held it
at
up
all.
well.
The wind's held it up. What can the Navy do here? Can they get a goal back? Can they get themselves back into this match in these last few moments, these last few minutes of the game? Last 3.5 minutes of normal time. There will be a bit of stoppage time, I'm sure, which Joe Winsett will play. Referee from the Royal Air Force tonight. I think the officials have handled things really well in such difficult conditions.
Yeah, I think the Army will happily take free kicks like that now for the rest of the game all day. It'll just suffocate the game and sap all the energy out of the Royal Navy. Jones
then with the free kick. Goalkeeper will get there first, just ahead of Imogen Fisher. Here's Fisher again. Cut out by the Navy. Army just marauding at the moment and looking like they could add another goal.
Yeah, it was a nice bit of play down the left-hand side by the Army just then. Good defending.
Druitt again working really hard. She's just gives 100%, doesn't she? And she's won another corner for the Army. And stepping over to take it is Anna Birtwistle, which is a bit of a surprise, unless she's thinking that maybe she can go direct from a corner to get her hat-trick. Corner comes in then. Ball just floats about anywhere. It's like a balloon out there, isn't it? It's just
it is.
a balloon in the wind.
It is. It is kind of ruining the game a little bit, this wind.
I think, and you consider these conditions opposed
Anna's
to
on it, Anna's on it.
But Whistle again. Oh, and she
Just
just
wide.
snatches it, and well, a little bit more composure, and she could have had a goal. So another change being made. This time it's the Navy, and they're taking their central striker, Abby Hindman, off. Yeah, replaced by Tyler Sibbins. The Army also making a change. Just giving some of these players the opportunity to experience a win. The Army. Ball goes wide and then onto the far side of the field and aimed in, but good defensive work again from Ash Miles. That Army defence tonight have played so well. They really have. They've been really attacking as well. That's a good ball through. Again, what can they do? We're going to get 9 minutes of stoppage time here. Navy throw then, which is taken by Trelier.
game's just gone a bit flat here at the minute as the Army try and see the game out. The Navy are not happy with that decision.
Yeah, they'd like to have had the throw themselves, but it's gone to the Army. Nice control from Elwood there. Can the Navy rustle something up then in these last few minutes then of stoppage time? Or are the Army going to hold firm? 50-50 ball perhaps. Goalkeeper comes out, makes the save. Tyrell Bell gets there just before Sibbons. Elwood. Good close control from her, but it's cleared away by Nat Bavister. Navy captain. Frustrating night for her, really, and for the Navy team.
Oh,
ball goes across, and it's touched in, and that is a third goal for the British Army. And, well, a good celebration, of course, for Imogen Fisher there, who's put the ball away, and a bit of a disaster for the Navy at the back there, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened, but suddenly there was 2-on-1 in the box.
Huge, great opportunity.
Yeah, 2-on-1 in the box, and
goalkeeper came, didn't make it.
Nice little tap in the back post.
So Imogen Fisher makes it 3-0 for the British Army to seal what will be a fine victory for them on a miserable night for the Navy women's team here.
Yeah, it's been a solid performance from the Army tonight. They've got some intelligent players who have just set the pace of the game, and I'd say it's probably a deserved 3-0.
Yeah. Just sort of checking on that Army scorer. I'm not absolutely certain it was Imogen Fisher, but the view is so difficult for us up here. But they've got a chance now for a fourth. Ball goes through. It'll be an important challenge for Sophie Colburn to make. I've just got a feeling that another change being made by the Army here. So
going to see the skip go off, I think.
The captain's going off, yeah.
She's had a solid performance at the back. She's had a lot of time to play the ball around, but equally a very good defensive performance from court.
Yeah.
In her final inter-service game.
Yeah, and she gets a very warm reception.
She's been a very good player for the Army, and ticked a box tonight to retain that trophy.
Army just switching things around a little bit. In fact, it was number 17 who scored the goal. It was Totti, actually, who put the ball away, wearing number 17. So my apologies to her, but she was the goal scorer. Last few moments of this game, Army 3-0 ahead, and really worth this lead, I think, tonight. Probably got another 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time still to go. What can the Navy do here? Can they get a consolation? That's really good play. And here's McFadden. Plays the ball wide onto the right-hand side. Cross comes in, but it's cleared by the Army. They'll drive forward again, not giving up at all here. Here is Fisher. Totti through ball. Birtwistle has gone right back into a sort of central midfield role to see this game through. Colburn.
She's done well, Colburn, at the back for the Navy, to be honest. She's cut
Gives
out...
100%, doesn't she?
Cut
She's
out
on the ball now.
Yeah, the Army played a lot of good through balls, but she's cut them out more often than not. She's had a good performance. I thought that might be a free kick.
Mills. Out to Totti. And the wind just carries that out of play once more.
Ref's looking at his watch. I imagine it's almost game over.
Yeah, just looking at the clock here, we've just got about a minute and a half left. And he's going to see this game through. The Army are going to see this through with Winnett. And here's Birtwistle. Strolling the ball around as if it's a training match. Chance then for a fourth, and it is a fourth goal. It's a beautifully taken goal. And that is Bradley who's got it, puts the ball in the net. Does so well there, does Shannon Bradley. Just picked it up. 4-0, and all credit to the Army here for really going for it. Obviously with the wind in their faces as well in the second half. They played it really intelligently, and 4-0 is a pretty comprehensive score.
Yeah, I feel for the Navy. They've battled hard, but yeah, the Army have just they've had a very good professional performance tonight, and they've put their chances away. They've been very clinical. 4-0's an exceptional scoreline in inter-services. So yeah, well done to the Army, and maybe next year the Navy can win their trophy back. Well, the trophy that they want back, I should say.
Absolutely. The Army retaining it, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not over yet. Oh, it's in! Wow, what a goal!
That is incredible.
And that again is Robin McFadden who has got it.
What an incredible goal! I know,
she just hooked onto it and the wind carried it in.
I know it's a consolation goal, but I mean, the Army will be annoyed not to have a clean sheet from that. But that was a well-taken goal.
Well, we had a goal fest in these last few moments of the game. Here, 4-1 now. The result that we've played our 9 minutes of stoppage time. The referee allowing
there we go.
No more to be played. Well,
not a bad last kick of the game.
4-1 is an incredible scoreline. I mean, you can see the ball actually was put on the centre spot, and it's now rolling into the penalty area of the Royal Navy, the British Army team. Well, it's finished 4-1 here, and I'm sure that the presentation is going to be very, very quick here, and we won't be seeing too much more tonight here in these frightful conditions. I can actually tell you it has been a real challenge for our team here tonight, but I hope you've enjoyed the game, and five goals we've managed to bring you tonight. We were hoping for goals. We certainly got them, Rach.
We did indeed, yeah. It was a good game to watch, albeit a bit damp and windy. But yeah, Army deserved winners, but nice for the Navy to get a consolation goal at the end, and some good goals on display actually.
They were. Well, that final goal there from was
that
from
was so
Robin
good.
McFadden was probably the goal of the night, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I say, the Army will probably be a little bit annoyed not to have that clean sheet. As a defender and a keeper, you'll always want the clean sheets, but I mean, I doubt they'll mind too much. They've won the game 4-1 and retained the trophy.
Well, the Army in their huddle, the Navy walking forlornly off the pitch. Players coming over to thank the officials for the way they've conducted themselves this evening. Well done to them, the members of the Royal Air Force referees team tonight. And you can probably just see out on the pitch there that our cameraman Lewis and our reporter Kath down there on the ground, just trying to see if we can get some pictures from ground level.
Rather than us.
It's very, very difficult. Very tricky here. Well, the Army still busy celebrating. They're celebrating as if it's a summer's afternoon. But we are right at the end of things here tonight, and well, it's certainly been an eventful Inter-Services Championship, Rach, hasn't it? And you can go on, mention it again that the RF are the champions.
The RF are the champions, yeah, they absolutely are. But no, it has. It's been good 3 matches as always. We always want to see women's football improve and get even better, and it certainly has done over the years. A very competitive championship now. All 3 games have shown a lot of quality. And a lot of goals. Yeah, the Army will be happy tonight. Obviously, after losing to the Royal Air Force 3-0 last week in their home fixture, they'll be more than happy to come away to the Navy and win 4-1. So well done to them.
Yeah, well done to them. Well, it's really the last moments of this, just the presentation then of the trophy tonight for the Army, retaining this this trophy for tonight, and. The weather has just really gone from bad to worse to hopefully not spoil the entertainment for you tonight. And I can assure you that any camera that wasn't actually being out on in front of the pictures that you were seeing was actually being having the lens wiped.
Same as your glasses.
So, as my glasses, yeah. But it's I think a lot of things we can take from the Inter-Services Championship, that the women's football is certainly in a strong position at the moment, and that actually bodes really well too, doesn't it, Rach, for UCAF as well, going into your season now, which is about to start.
Yeah, absolutely. The stronger the 3 service teams can be, the stronger the UK Armed Forces team will be, which will always be a good thing when we're playing against teams such as the Dutch, the Germans, the French and the Irish.
Indeed, and as I said, you've got this really big match coming up in next month, which will be down at Sandhurst, won't it? So it's going to be down there, and so we're looking forward to bringing you that game, which will be a bit of history. The 3 officials just being sent over then to receive their.
Don't forget the 4th one. They'll get
the 4th official, yes. Let's give them all a mention tonight, who have done a great job this evening. That's Joe Winship, who's the referee tonight, with Finley Thompson, Louis Blanchard and Ed Tarr as well, the 4th official.
Courts is going up to collect the trophy.
So Courtney goes along to collect the trophy, which she will raise high and wide. So congratulations to the Army. It's a rebuilding process for the Army, of course, isn't it? I mean, because a certain Chrissy Wright, obviously, is no longer involved with them, and she's been a dynasty in Army football as well.
She has indeed. I'm sure she could probably still play. She's a cracking player, and she always has been for the Army. But she was there last week watching the game.
Well, she's a trustee now, I think, of the Army Football Association, and she will keep passing on her knowledge and obviously her experience to everyone else.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So the Army celebrating as you would expect, and you can see from our low-level camera now, we do have some pictures there to show of their celebrations. It obviously means so much to them, and it does mean a lot to win any sort of trophy in this level of football. and so they'll be enjoying that celebration tonight.
Yeah.
It'll make up obviously for their 3-0 defeat last week to the RAF.
Yeah, I mean, I know I keep mentioning obviously RAF being champions, but like you say, winning any trophy in football is always a nice feeling. So the Army will enjoy that tonight, enjoy celebrating, and it's some nice scenes as you can see on the camera.
Well, don't forget we've got more live football for you tomorrow evening, just down the road at Pompey at Fratton Park, when the Royal Navy will take on the Army men.
All to play for.
Everything
to
play for, with both of those sides obviously winning their opening fixtures.
So, victorious Army captain, that was crazy at the end. But what games were you out of? You had everything. You had all the weather, we had goals, but most importantly, a win for you as the final act of this year's Inter-Services.
Yeah, it's a most important win for us because obviously we was disappointed on Thursday's result and we said we'll either sink or swim today, and we came out and smashed it, and it's also my last game in an Army shirt. So I'm so proud of the girls and the staff and what they created, and credit to them guys, they were great.
Congratulations. Look, Craig said before the match you were all really buzzing for this, regardless of the fact that the title had gone to the RAF, and that really showed. I mean, going 1 goal up, 2 goal up, 3 goal up, the end was a bit of a carnage, but you know, you were definitely the stronger side out there today.
Yeah, we didn't want to stop, and we said we want to retain that Knights Cup. It's so important. Even though last Thursday there was another cup up for grabs today, and we weren't going to let that get away from us, so we wanted to take it home. So yeah, the girls put in all the efforts, and we come away with a win, which is what we wanted.
A brace for Anna, but everyone contributed, but you got some great memories to take away, and some great friends for life, I'm sure.
Yeah, the girls, honestly, there's some great memories. Some I can't say on mic, but honestly, I've created some best friends and loving memories in the Army football team. They're just a great bunch, and honestly, I'm going to miss them.
Well, that's the thing. You're still going to be involved, maybe not in an Army shirt, but come back and just in the sidelines. You could come back and enjoy and watch.
I'll always support the Army team, especially even next season after. I'll always have the Army in the heart.
Congratulations. Go and enjoy the time with the team. I'm sure you've got some success to go and celebrate. Thanks, Courtney.
Thank you.
And back to John.
Courtney Jones talking then to Kath Brazier, celebrating a very good victory for the Army this evening by 4 goals to 1 against the Royal Navy. Well, Rachel, thanks ever so much for joining us this evening, and Rachel House joining me on commentary tonight for this match. And as I say, we've got live football tomorrow at Fratton Park when the Army will take on the Royal Navy in the Inter-Services Men's Championship, and as I say, also boxing on Thursday night, which fortunately is going to be indoors inside the gymnasium at HMS Nelson. Great to have you alongside this evening.
Thanks ever so much, John. It's been fun to be here.
It's been good having you, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon for more live sports action here on our Forces News YouTube channel. From all of us, a very good night.
It's right across the box, it's a big chance.
Great play by the Navy there, fantastic football.
And it's a goal! The Army have an all-important second goal.
Full time in this match, thrilling stuff, especially in the second half.
One game plan, and it's paid off.